Live stream started. Oof, and I think it looks good. Okay, because it's I haven't started the live stream for a while since the conference. So yeah, welcome people. It's Async API. I just wanted to say Async API conference. It's Async API community meeting. That usually is hosted by unreplaceable Ace, but yeah, life is life. And he unfortunately is not feeling well today and asked me to, yeah, run the meeting for him. There are two people on the call, Tuli and Akshat, and let's wait 2 minutes more to really kick off the meeting because there are usually latecomers. And so, yeah, let's, in the meantime, I'm going to open YouTube to see if there's anyone in the live chat. So if there's anyone just watching live, didn't join the meeting, please say hello in the live chat. Be kind. Okay. I think the live chat is available. All good. Three minutes past. Okay, 4 past. Let's kick off. Let's start. And the best way will be start with Tuli.
Okay. What did I do? Am I in trouble?
No, I mean, you had a chance to let people know in Slack the exciting news, but now the stage is yours to share it with the rest of the people.
Yes. Okay. Hello, everyone. So I'm Julie. I'm the new community manager at Async API Initiative. So I'm very excited to fill in the big shoes of Lucas. But anyways, if anyone has any suggestions, comments, feedback on how we can improve the community, you can reach out to me on Slack via DM. I'm also available on social media. You can reach out and I'll be available. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. And yeah, folks, it's a good opportunity. So if you were afraid to complain to me that I'm doing something wrong, now you can go to Tuli and say, blame me like, hey, Tuli, can you fix because Łukasz was doing it wrong? So you don't have to be afraid of me anymore. If you were, of course. So yeah, I'm super happy. I think I shared it to you privately already and Slack, but yeah, I'm super happy that you're here and you're gonna next 12 months cover Async API community management, which is awesome. Because even though it may look like it's a big shoes, but I never had a chance to really do it just full-time only community management. So I'm happy that we finally have someone dedicated and we can have someone through the Open Collective Money, which is great. Now, looking on the agenda items, there was like 5 minutes ago, there was nothing on the agenda. So I have just 2 items. So Akshat, before we go into your topics, if you don't mind, I'll just like to share what Ace asked me to share.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, awesome. So there are 2 topics Ace wanted to share. So the status of GSOC and Async API mentorship. So like he just asked me to share feedback, to share status, but because he felt bad, he wasn't able to share exactly what I have to share. So just looking at my notes, I know that he applied on GSOC for GSOC, Async API for GSOC, but I think it's pretty obvious. And looking into my history of discussions with him, it looks like today is the day when we should know if we got accepted or not. So looks like this year GSOC will provide feedback sooner than last time. So I'm not sure how relevant is this with this, because there was in Slack, there was this discussion like if maybe we can present GSOC as part of Async API mentorship. If we get rejected, then I think it's irrelevant anymore. But if we get accepted, that's super cool. But yeah, anyway, that's the news. So today we should like Ace should get an email on the status. And in case of Async API mentorship, the last time I checked, but again, not sure how if he changed his mind or did something basing on the Slack discussion in the mentorship channel. The plan that he had, I know, is that was, okay, we're waiting for GSOC. And once it's, we know yes or not, we will proceed with Async API mentorship. And I don't think it was ever a condition that if we get accepted for GSOC, we will not do Async API mentorship. I think these two do not exclude each other. It's more about that we submitted few proposals for GSOC. So before we actually kick off mentorship, we need to know if the same proposals for GSOC will be done under mentorship, if you know what I mean. So that's the status he, I think he wanted me to share. Any questions? Although I don't have answers.
No, not from me.
Okay, cool. Before we, or actually not before. Okay, so Akshat, your items. So there's a, you left a comment. There are a list of issues I want to add to this meeting regarding the website to have a clear discussion on it and make it out to the community. So would you like me, would you like to give me you, would you like me to give you a share screen,
please.
right?
Or you can please screen share it.
Okay, let me do it.
Anyways, that I have a question regarding that previous what you have said regarding the GSOC. That didn't we get the email or any announcement or information regarding from the GSOC regarding that we have got selected or not? Like a prior information to the organizations. Like previously last year, I know that before the announcement of the organizations to the public, Async API got the mail 2 to 3 days before that it got rejected.
Was it like this? I don't remember because I was the one that submitted for GSOC, but to be honest, I don't remember. I don't think we got
like what I was on the previous GSOC phase in Async API and I asked you only and you got the mail 1 day before me that Async API was not selected.
But yeah, I mean, so I mean, I'm regularly chatting and having small talk with Ace. So I think if he would get an email yesterday, he would let me know that we got rejected again. So I don't think he received anything. And he was the one that submitted the application. So he's the only one that would get an email. So I don't think he did not communicate anything. And maybe this date, 21st of February, is not the date when they make it public. It's just a date when they communicated with the applicants. I don't know.
They're going to make it public on the 22nd, which is tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so today email and tomorrow communication, so yeah, fingers crossed that it's gonna be good, but I'm skeptical. But it's my bad experience. So, do you see the screen? Or
Yeah,
Akshay,
sure.
Akshay, do you have any other follow-up questions?
No follow-up questions
Okay.
at all.
Okay, cool. Do you want me to go to the respective issues, or it's enough that they're highlighted?
No, you have to means like, yeah, you have to thoroughly go through it to get a brief description about it.
Okay. So the first one is highlight active navigation links. That's a bug, I think, right? Or no?
So it's like that whenever a user goes to a particular route, like it's a tools or it a docs,
This one.
that particular navigation gets highlighted in it. Yeah, the underline goes into it. I'm not sure about it that we do need this change or not. Like it's a good animation thing, but not from the perspective like, do we actually need it?
I don't know. So I know that like for people, it's important to highlight the document in the navigation, and I know they
Okay.
care a lot about the right-hand side navigation. So so we basically highlight the section that is really active, but the top
Yeah.
navigation, no opinion really. But when we hover over it, it kind of
Like,
changed the.
like if you can see, there is actually a sample PR which is being initialized by the issue owner only. That he made a slight changes to make this change happen, but it is not perfectly okay. Like I'm going to review it soon, but question is that do we need that change or not?
He also underlines it. I mean, so like my opinion would be like, if we really want it, and I don't see a problem having it, but I would not underline. I would just basically persist the behavior that we have when we hover over. That's what I think is the best. Like, so when you hover over on docs and you click, and the docs load, the hover color should stay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah,
Means like it should be like bolded in the black color, like now when we get over it.
yeah, exactly. Without underlining, I think it's overuse.
Perfect. We can go on that one. But yeah, it's one more case that if in the case that we know that for tooling, like, so let's take an example of slash tools. So for every root of slash tools, that menu should be highlighted on the top.
Yeah, that should be replicated to all the sections, definitely.
Yeah, even if we do have the model in a web page and CLI web page in that website. So even on that pages too, we should have that tools particular button should be highlighted in black, right?
Yeah. I think consistency is key here. So if you go to CLI, then tools should be highlighted. If you go to TSC, then community should be highlighted. Yeah. Same with blog, same with jobs that we don't have.
Okay, then we do already have a sample PR for it. We can go with the reviews for it to suggest the changes.
Okay, the next one, preloader.
Yeah, so this was, I think I mentioned you in that pull request regarding that.
Boom. But I mean, we're all decision makers, really. If we should upgrade React
Like React new version, which is the version 18, I should say that it's still in the experimental mode. And I sometimes do not prefer to have React 18 on my softwares too.
But what's the benefit? Can you, like, in one sentence say what's the benefit of so the benefit of latest React is that we can use the suspense from
Exactly.
Next.js?
It's not actually suspense from Next.js, it's suspense from React.js. The suspense element from the Next.js is still in the beta version, which is in the Next.js 13 version. So we can't actually incorporate Next.js 13 version because still not in the production side, and it's still not available for the public. So I thought that let's go for the React suspense component, as it is out for the public, people are using it. And yeah, he actually not have added anything on the, yeah, you can see right now it's like just a timeout being added into it.
But is it really loading that slow?
Sorry.
So he basically, like, the idea is that we have like a typical loader of the viewer.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because there is a time that when we are loading the JSON into the tools dashboard, it takes a particular time to load all the data into a respective components. So we could have the preloader assigned to it, but the only problem is that the exact component that has to be used is not available with the present React version we are using.
Okay. Well, in such cases, I always try to balance what's the what is the change, if the change is worth it. So if it's just for the preloader and we have to upgrade, and upgrades always mean that we will probably have some issues and it will take time. And especially if the features are beta, then I would say let's wait until it's really production checked and we can use it.
So, but until then, that how can we manage the preloaders? Like we should have had a timeout to the web page for around 1 second, that for 1 second the preloader is loading and then comes up the content. That is the most hard-coded way, I should say. Not the perfect. The perfect one is that it should wait for the data to the whole data that has to be rendered first, and it is loaded inside the component. But if we are not doing so, we have to add timeout on it.
Well, timeouts. I mean, if it works, then it's not bad. But the question is, like, do we need this preloader really?
Yeah, means like many of them actually complain that when they do not have the proper internet working on it, and if we go to the tools dashboard for around 1 second or 1.5 seconds, the screen goes blank. Full blank means that only that search bar and the nav bar comes in between, and no tools are being showed up at the initial. So that was an issue that was actually even pointed out by the ACE also.
Okay. When was this React 18 released? Do you remember?
It is around 1.5 years. It's still in the experimental mode, means that certain components are still in the experimental mode, but most of them are done. It means like React 18 is somehow stable too.
Okay, but it's not like I see the
it's still not
17 is the main one.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I will not prefer that that we should have production with the beta version.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, in the end, it's just a website. We don't need all these fancy features. I mean,
Okay.
So I mean, I don't mind this timeout really. if isn't the bigger concern the preloader actually animation? What kind of preloader we're gonna use? Like, because now it's I mean, do we have preloader on any part of the website? I don't think so, right?
No, we don't have
Which
anything.
means, like, so from my perspective, so what did he use as a preloader here? Loading.
It's just an image right now for the demonstration.
Okay, so the image that I could see, right? The
Yeah.
Async API image.
Exactly, it's in Lumen. So like it's still not optimized. Like we could just have a logo in it with no background, if you can say.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we definitely should have like that should be visible out of the box, and preloading should be below, right?
Okay.
And so that would be my feedback if I would go deeper in the pull request. But again, like if it's really visible in different networks, this delay and preloader makes really a lot of sense, then let's go with the timeout. Just let's make sure that we have a proper to-do set for, let's say, to do in next, like in 6 months, check out if that can be replaced with some other solution, etc. And that's it.
Yeah, it's like the perfect solution. I think I actually mentioned it that if the Next.js releases in next 6 months or in a year, that is in the next 13th version, it will be a great one. Like they have already out that in the docs, but yeah, I still not prefer that we should upgrade it to the next 13.
Yeah. But yeah, more important, like because I guess we don't want Async API picture as a preloader, right?
Yeah, we can have an alternative. We
Yeah.
can have an alternative of just that logo, that S type of to be a slightly blinking image. That too can be a good preloader.
Okay.
Okay.
Next one, new community section from community branch. This one. Yeah. What about it?
Okay, so this was actually, I pointed out this one to the AS2 that as we discussed before, and you also pointed out before, that we can't manage feature branch for a long phase. And it becomes a very difficult to manage and merge the changes from the main, because if it is a very big pull request with lots of file changed, we are sure to get so many merge conflicts in it. So it was a time that should we now merge, or should we now have community section on the website running? Because I'm in the, not I should say in the hurry, but I think it's the time that we should merge the community branch, because already have too many changes in this as respect to the main section.
Yeah, but
yeah.
let's about it. Do you know, like so Ace had 3 major pull requests to the community branch. Do you know do you remember if he merged all 3?
Yeah. I think I was in those 3 to the community branch. Yeah, that was most. Even there was one more where he pointed out the issues there related to the environments or the deployment regarding issues, and he actually resolved all of them. So it was like majority of the UI part is done, but yeah, still as per the issue that he made regarding that APIC roadmap for the community section, the docs and certain reference contributor docs are still missing to be added in the section. And I do prefer that if we can do this contributions regarding the docs addition in the directly to the main branch too, if we are okay with the community section to be merged in main.
I mean, it looks in general, it looks good. Barbania will be super happy once we release the ambassador's view, for sure. So yeah, I mean, like my suggestion, I mean, so like as you said, like my opinion, like long living branches are a pain, and
Yeah.
that's why this is a pain, because of the merge conflicts. Basically, what you said. So I would say yes, our goal should be to merge it as soon as possible, but so we just basically need to agree, like, because who was involved in the review? Mainly it was you, me, and Alejandra. So we just need to check with Ace when he's back, if he can put
Yeah.
like higher priority on this one. This basically has to go out of draft into the like a pull request that is really ready for review, and we
Yeah.
need to basically click through it and see what happens. Because I think that, like, for example, one thing that is missing, I already see, is that when you go to docs, it nicely, like, you click docs and it takes you to docs. When I click on community, it does not take me to the community, but instead I see overview. So we're already inconsistent. Overview should not be here because we don't have any overview docs here. So community should be like the same. I click on community, and I see this without a need to click on the overview. So that's, for example, one thing. So we just need to click through, like click through and see if things are still working.
Yeah, it's like I also saw that community has two pages. One is dashboard, one is overview. It's like somewhat similar in the terms of, like, they do have different things. A dashboard consists of all the issues and the hot topics we do have. But if we look into it, we should have something naming, because overview and dashboard looks like it's both are the home pages of community.
Yeah.
Or we could have like something interesting going on in the community, hot, interesting, something like that. And moreover, that inside the community, like, still we are not like, there are still options missing regarding the ambassador program, regarding the event space that has been made. So like, once someone has to go to the event space, he first has to go to the overview, and from overview he has to go to the events.
But because meetings, because he left. Yeah. So we basically need to do manual user testing, because basically this should be removed, because it's, as far as I know, the idea is that this is a replacement for meetings. So basically this should be replaced with or still be called meetings, but take user to this view. So yeah, we need to click through, see the inconsistencies, make sure that Ace address them as the most important ones to fix this basic stuff, and merge, because the rest we can improve. Like in case of tooling, you see on your own, like after releasing the tools view, there were already a number of different pull requests to improve bits and pieces, right? To make things work better. So I definitely prefer to merge and then improve on production. That's the best way. So yeah, I agree. I put it in the notes, and I'll make sure that Ace have a look on the notes. But also, like, offline, we should try to bump him on DM to check with him. Good. Okay. Dark light mode.
So yeah, it's already like explainable from the topic only, that one of the contributors, I think one of the members in the Slack introduced that we should have the dark light mode button in the Sync API. Like, I'm not sure that
I'm all in. That would be lovely. But how to do it?
Like it's very much easy. If you ask from my perspective, if you use a Tailwind, releasing the dark mode is the most easiest thing in it.
Okay.
Like,
I think we like I'm not gonna point you to any specific issues from the past, but I know that in the past we since the introduction of light and dark mode in GitHub, we already were having more often discussions about like, yeah, it would be nice to have website as dark mode as well. So we did like, I would like, and you can already see Fran commented, I can leave my comment.
so like, should we move this issue in certain steps, like first docs and then we goes to the other pages of it, or we should go a single PR with whole of the website into a dark mode?
And this is a question I'm not able to answer because I don't know how that will be realized. So is it just a CSS change or is it a lot of React code refactoring? It all depends on the size. If it's small change, then why not doing it all everywhere? But if it's big change, then
if we talk about the dark mode, with the recent new versions of Tailwind CSS, like we also upgraded to the Tailwind version 4. So it actually allows us to make our website both in light and dark mode simultaneously by changing the certain attributes. So like if you add certain attribute with a dark and colon just behind it, it is automatically suggested that this particular property is for the dark mode. So it automatically assigns. So like we do need a certain color scheme. Yes, we do need certain designers that requires that this particular color scheme should be changed into this particular color in a dark mode. So if this discussion comes into the end, like comes to a final conclusion with a set of colors being interchangeable in the light and the dark mode, we can then surely add to the theme, that is to the Tailwind config file, and it can be added anywhere inside all the properties to it. But yeah, it will be a big change for sure, because we do have too many components and too many pages inside it. So the question comes is that, yeah, for a single contributor, if a contributor is very new to the website or to the repository, he surely have to take a lot much more time to make it fully in the dark mode.
then my suggestion is because it's a nice to have feature, nothing we have to rush with. So as you said, like let's do it first on the docs. Add a toggle where you can switch on the dark mode, and then we can also add a specific Google tag to track if people actually enable dark mode, to see if people click it, and then like seeing the feedback on the color scheme that we choose, we can roll it out to other views one by one.
Sure.
Yeah, because like as you said, like the most critical is to choose the scheme.
Yeah.
Like we'll see in action how it really works, and also like making sure it's persistent, right, in the local storage. So whoever choose dark mode, it's not loading light mode every time they reload, of course, right?
Okay. Yeah, you do have to take care about it too. Yeah.
But small steps would be the best ones.
Yeah, so it's the ideal way that we break out an issue into couple of 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So that everyone can have a clear precision that what should be the next and how it should be processed into a dark mode.
Mm-hmm. And there will be this discussion where to put it on mobile. But yeah.
Yeah.
First discussion, then PR, of course.
Yeah. So like, yeah, so this was the whole of it. But yeah, there's one more I want to add that regarding, as we discussed before too, that we have to remove the previous tools page. I still see that 2 to 3 PRs where the contributor want to add new tools to the dashboard, and the PR consists of adding the tools both into that new tools dashboard and also on the previous tools page that was under the slash docs. So is this the time that should we remove that page?
You just to clarify, let's wait. So you're basically asking that we have tools and that we also have
Slash docs slash tools.
yeah, and that there are PRs that where people still make changes here.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, my past opinion was just get rid of it as soon as possible. But I think that like Alejandra, I don't remember, but I think Alejandra shared some. She wanted to. Am I correct that she wanted to replace it with something different, or?
Like for the discussion that I made with Alejandra, she said
Yeah.
that we should make it first announcement for to the public and to the community members. So like yeah, I made a blog regarding it too. I'm not sure that the announcement has been made that we are actually removing this page and we'll do have a new tools dashboard. I'm not sure that this announcement was made, but yeah, I do made a blog into it. But yeah, from the past 2 to 3 weeks, I see that even in the case of Modelina, that Jonas made the 2 PRs, one for this page, one for the new tools dashboard one. So yeah, there's always a confusion between them that where the things should be added. And even in the nav bar, if we see, sorry, in the tools one, it's still right now points out to the slash doc slash tools. And we have added the slash tools one to the community nav bar one, community menu. So like we do have to change that one too. And sorry, if you go into the docs one, docs, and there is also one tools. Yeah. So this has to be removed.
This one?
Okay. No, not the overview one, because overview should contain only the first part of it, first section, not the Async API tools list.
Yeah. So yeah, so we're not talking about removing the overview. We just talk about removing the section, right?
Exactly,
and the previous. Yeah. I mean, I would say go ahead and start working on a draft pull request to remove it. Because yeah.
We already, I think, replicated this particular list in our dashboard, right? Like I actually made the PR regarding it, manual tools added to the dashboard.
I didn't get it. Like what PR you were referring to?
I think you already you asked me in the month of December or in the first week of January that we should have a PR or all the tools should be listed from that slash doc slash tools to the new tools dashboard. And I made a PR regarding. So like if we remove that section completely in a single PR, that should be okay for that.
Yeah. So I didn't remember. I didn't remember. I don't remember that we had APR. So if we have APR for it already, then that's fine. Just make sure like that Alejandra sees it. She can share opinion. But like the removal, like we have to leave a note for people.
Yeah, sure. That the new tools list is
exactly
directed to the
exactly. So there's we like some note has to be left here, and so just make sure to clarify that and take it forward. And if it comes to the announcement of the tooling, it's almost done. So you did a blog post, yes, but I didn't do the You probably noticed that whenever we have articles, we ask in promotion and marketing people to share the blog post. I also make posts on Twitter and LinkedIn to like really announce a big change. And that is something that I plan for this week, later this week. So we can assume that the announcement of the new tools will happen this week. So you can already, like, if you have time to complete the PR, you can make it ready for merge. And then once
it's like,
once we do an announcement, we can merge it.
so yeah, it will be done most probably by next 2 days. Like when I get back to my home from the institute, yeah, I will do it. So regarding this, the migration that you asked regarding this tools list to a new one, this is the PR that I was talking about. It's in the chat, meeting chat. It's like all the tools from this list has been perfectly into the new one.
Yes, yeah. But I'm saying that you can already open a. Okay, so now I know what you were referring to. So, but I
Yeah.
mean that you can already open a PR and work with Alejandra on like replacing this, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
We
that's what I meant.
can.
Okay.
Sure.
But yeah, I know that it's all moved already to this view. Yeah. Actually, I haven't checked. I can actually. Do you remember when the tools was exactly released? On what day?
The day that we merged the PR. Like this
Yeah.
was the last PR that I made regarding the tools.
Was
That I
it this,
mentioned.
that was this year, right?
Yeah.
So let me quickly, because I'm working on an article that summarized 2022. So I have now Google Analytics actually opened. So I can see tools. Yeah, so without any advertisement, we had already like 600 visits on the tools without any big advertisement, which is good because people can still see tools here. But once we remove it and direct people to this view, we're gonna get much more visibility of the UI. Okay, any other questions?
No. It's all done from my side.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for good topics. Now I see another comment. Tuli, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yep. So you there are two topics added by you related to open collective funds distribution. Do you want to add something?
Okay, so I just wanted to add like visibility on the issue, the one for the second issue.
This one?
Yes. So like, oh, IO shared, right? Opened an issue on Open Collective, like in terms of like payments, how contributors might struggle like with payments. Like for example, like for us to get like Open Collective funds, right? You need to use fiscal hosts like Wise, Pioneer, and what's the third one? Swift. Is it Swift or is it I'm not sure
Swift
the third
system.
one. Swift system, right?
Mhm.
So, oh no, Stripe, right? Like for instance, Stripe for us doesn't work like in Southern Africa. Then Wise doesn't work in Nigeria. So I'm not sure about Payoneer, how much does it restrict? So it was like coming up with a solution where we can Open Collective can use the Swift method where they can just directly deposit the money, the funds, without the need for fiscal hosts, if I'm not mistaken. So now what okay. So yeah, like most of the people, like they struggle with this issue where they use fiscal hosts. But now the solution that Open Collective came up with was that the payee is to contact the fiscal host to conduct the transfer through Swift manually. You can scroll down. I think that's the last comment. Yes, this one. So now I'm not sure how things will go in terms of like if we have contributors like from countries that have sanctions, how will they go forward? Because I know like WISE doesn't work in Nigeria totally. So let's say we have a contributor in Nigeria, right? For instance. So how can they ask WISE like to transfer money because they no longer provide those kind of services to Nigeria? Or let's take for instance Stripe. Stripe doesn't totally work in Southern Africa. So there's no way I can access funds unless if I use maybe Payoneer. I'm not sure if Payoneer does restrict. We have countries that are not restricted. I'm not just sure. So this is a challenge that we are currently facing, or most people are currently facing, in terms of like accessing funds. So this goes hand in hand in the Open Collective funds distribution for contributors.
Okay, but I think it's pretty fresh comment. I see it's 3 hours ago. So let's see how it works. We're gonna also confirm it, like in your case with Open Collective, if it comes to the contract. But yeah, the most important is for others to understand why we even have this discussion, and just please people join this discussion that Vyacheslav started last year, because one of the goals for this year is to explore and have kind of process in place, at least experimental process, to see how we can share the money we get on Open Collective with the maintainers, to not exploit people too much and their free time, so we can actually pay something. So that's why Vyacheslav started this discussion, and it's related, like, because in case of Vyacheslav, there are problems like how we will actually be able to distribute funds with contributors like Vyacheslav. Yeah, it's a complex topic because it's not just tech, and it's money and legal, and it's complicated. Yeah. Anything else?
No, that will be all from my end.
Maybe we'll share Async API on Tor.
On Tor, yes.
Because there's a good news. Want to continue? Tuli, do you want me to say something, or you'd like to highlight it? Okay, I think you have some connectivity issues. So let me introduce. So basically, yeah. Tuli started last week a discussion to actually kick off one of the top goals for 2021, 2023, which is the Async API Conf on Tor. So instead of one-day conference, a set of meetups around the world, and join it, be active. And the most important is that we already have one company that in Q4 can host us, Singular can host us in Madrid, Spain, which is super cool. I'm also, it's not yet public here. I'm also discussing with one company that we can have an event in North America. We just need to figure actually where. So we're targeting US, but we need to know what is the best location. But yeah, I don't think I can share more now. Anything from your side, Tuli? I see you're back.
Okay. All right. So in terms of Async API on tour, yeah, we have one confirmation and in Madrid. That is towards the end of the year. So it can be either November or December. So yeah, I'm still discussing with Ivan in terms of like the schedule, how many speakers, how are we going to finalize everything. So yeah, we just have like solid one solid location confirmed at this moment.
Okay, just remember, like, we do it for the first time, so we don't have any special requirements. We can do, actually, for every event, we can do things differently, experiment. And so later on, we can kind of create some framework out of it. That's the initial idea, but let's see. Okay, I can also see there's a chat message. Oh, yeah. And there's a comment from Akshat about the issue with getting payments from Open Collective. Especially like even with India, there was a problem, right? The Pioneer account was required for everyone. So I'm not sure what happens with Wise, because last time, we were able to do many things with Wise. I personally used Wise for many things, and now it's suddenly getting more complex. When it was Estonian startup, it was different. Now when it got bigger, something is blocking it. Okay, any other topics? 6 minutes left. Of course, we don't have to fill them in, but
Not at the moment. Anything else?
okay. So folks, get ready. Today I was onboarding Tuli on our social media. So in a few days, there's a new king that will rule social media. Looking forward to it. And yeah, thanks a lot. And Ace, virtual hack, and hope you're doing well. And you're gonna share a nice news tomorrow from Google.
Yes.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So thanks for joining. And see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye. Good night, Akshat.